Tell me, baby, is it cool to touch? Tell a man that you can trust, not just a fool in lust. Coming to get you on the bus is so ironic. Exotic on the verge of erotic. I'm hitting switches on misses like I've been fixed with hydraulics. My up and down like a roller coaster. Can I come inside you? I ain't stopping till the show is over. Summer rider, in and out the stock.
I'ma tip it, goddamn, I'ma take that. I know that she got me. Oh, I love it, the way you clap back when you move. Ain't nobody in here with that body. Nobody in here with that body. Nobody in here with that body. Ain't nobody in here with that body. Nobody.
Hello lovelies, and welcome back to another episode of Zhebeauty Channel, where if you're new here, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you're feeling generous, go ahead and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out when I upload new videos such as this one. And if you're returning, welcome back, and let's jump right in. So going in with my mini black palette, I am going to be using this tan color as a transition color just to start off. And then I'm going to go in with the darker shade of that tan color just to go ahead and blend out and really deepen my creases. So as you can see, I am just using a very light tapping motion. I just want to make sure that I'm able to use this lighter tan shade just for the placement area. And then I'm going to go in with that darker brown as you've seen previously, just to go ahead and deepen the crease to give my creases some more depth. As I'm using my blending brush to blend out that first color that I use just for the transition, I am going to go ahead after that and use that darker shade of brown just to go ahead and deepen up the creases. Now I'm only applying this to the outer corners of my eye, going in, moving into my crease area, because I only want to keep it in my crease area. I don't really want to go above my crease area, only the area that I'm blending out. I notice when I keep it closer to my eyelid, on my actual eyelid, and then blend upwards, it gives me a more smooth and buildable blend. All I'm doing, as you can see here, is just using that same brown color that I used earlier and just deepening up and applying as much of that color as possible. And I'm only staying in the crease because this is only the area that I need it to be in. Going in with my NYX Professional Liquid Liner, I am going to go ahead and create my wing, starting on the outer corners of my eye and dragging that wing to the inner corner of my eye. Now, I already did my cut crease off camera just because I didn't know exactly the shape I wanted to do with my actual cut crease, but I figured out I wanted to go bold because what inspired me was 90s aesthetic, but I wanted to do a modern day authentic twist, of course adding a little sauce, a little sprinkle of my own authenticity in it as well. So this is the look that I came up with. I wanted to do very bold, very dramatic makeup. And also I wanted to use the soft tones of the colors, and I wanted to do a bold wing. So here, as you can see, so continuing my wing on the opposite eye, I like to create a simple wing first and then build my wings up. So leaving me room to make mistakes, basically. So when I'm doing my wings, not necessarily to say that I'm going to make a mistake, but if I just so happen to make a mistake, it's easier for me to clean it up and still be in place for it to look to my liking. So I already put on my eyelashes off camera, and I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the shade Warm Honey. And I am going to be applying this all over my face. Now, I like to use a flat brush when applying my makeup just because it's not a lot of product that I'm putting on my face, and so which leaves room for it not to be cakey. Also, it's more easy and accessible for me to apply my foundation because I can apply it in the areas a greater amount or a lesser amount in the areas that I needed to go. So going in with my regular Smeggler Degular Beauty Blender, I am going to be just blending out the foundation all over my face. Making sure I like to blend underneath my jawline as well, or get my jawline, just because I don't want to be able to tell the difference between where the foundation starts and where the foundation stops on my face. So I like to make sure I hit all areas, and sometimes if I'm being extra, I even tap my ears a little bit just so the foundation can be on my ears as well, just so everything can blend in and be nice and the same color exactly. Just me being extra. But also I like to use a very light hand, as light as I can go, on applying the foundation underneath my eyes, because I really don't like that creasing under my eyes. I already have a little bit of creases naturally under my eyes, so I have to use less product when I'm using my foundation and my concealer, just so when I'm applying that on my face, you can't really see my creases through my makeup underneath my eyes. Going in with my e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer and my Mattifying Camo Concealer, I am going to be applying these two shades underneath my eyes. I will be listing the shades in the description box down below as well. So make sure you be sure to check that out. If you haven't subscribed already, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe and like, since you've made it this far into the video. And thank you. I appreciate you being here today. I hope you're enjoying. I hope you're having a good day and you're enjoying the content. So using a very, very light hand when applying my concealer, making sure that I'm staying in that area. I don't really want to move the concealer by any means, just because I really wanted to cover up those, if you have bags or dark areas underneath your eyes, you want to make sure that you're able to cover that. As well as with me, I just want to make sure that I'm having as much product in that one area as possible, so when I put my setting powder on it as well, it can at least brighten that area up, and I can really have a bold under eye. So I started using a hydrating concealer and a mattifying concealer just because it gives me the perfect texture for my skin, because I have dry to normal skin. So when I use a hydrating and then go in with a mattifying, it gives me the perfect combination of both. And it doesn't make my makeup look dry or pilly in some cases, or cakey in some cases. It just gives me a nice smooth base on my concealer and even my foundation, because I do it with both. Now that I'm just about done blending out that concealer, as you can see, I'm already feeling myself, baby. And I'm just going to go ahead and just make sure that that concealer is just a little bit more dry before going in and applying my translucent powder. Now that it is, I'm going to be applying my translucent powder underneath my eyes and just in this very small area. I don't want this to be just too bold in the area because, again, this is a 90s inspired look. So I do want to make sure that I am using smaller areas of my face and just making sure I'm face framing and making sure that it is very soft, but enhancing only my features, not trying to change any of my features. Just basically enhancing, excuse me, I'm talking about enhancing, what? Enhancing my features and making sure that I'm using small area to apply that translucent powder. Vibe out with me real quick. Big Ken with a yeah. Okay, period. But with me, with makeup, honestly, really and truly, I just love the vibes of everything and the transformation of everything. And just being able to vibe and be comfortable doing what I love. And just making sure that, I'm actually creating. However, I'm going in with the LA Pro Girl Concealer. And this is in the shade suede, I think, or almond. Anyways, it will be in the description box down below because I really can't even tell you right now because honestly I don't even know which one I used, but if you did see it, good. If you didn't, it will be in the description box down below. I am going to be applying that to the hollow areas of my cheekbones. Now this might look like a very, very light shade. It's like, your concealer is supposed to be darker. Honestly, really and truly, you can do your concealer however you want to do it. It depends on the contour at hand that you want to make your looks acquired to look that way. If you're more into natural looks, of course, make sure that your contour is the same shade as 2 or 3 shades darker than you, or however you want to do it. Honestly, really and truly, with me, depending on the looks that I'm doing in hand, just because I really like to transform and actually encounter that vibe and bring that forth when I'm creating. So I like to do what I feel at the moment that is meant for me to do. So I don't try to stop my creativity by, following everyone else's, lead and how they do their makeup, because makeup is specifically for you. So however you feel it's needed for you to do your makeup at that time, you do that. Either way it go, you can always use a bronzer or a pressed powder or foundation powder to go on top and deepen that if you would like to do that as well. It just depends on how you want to do your makeup. With me, I'm going for, again, a very 90s inspired, authentic, modern day vibe. So I decided to use a contour that is actually the exact same shade as me, and then go in with a bronzer just to tint it and bring shadow. I don't really want to make my contour too strong in this specific thing that I'm doing, just because I still wanted to look more natural, because in 90s, of course, they was natural. They just plopped on a little bit of eyeshadow, even if they did it with a finger, you know what I mean? It was thin brows, so It was just enhancing what you already have in your face. And I just wanted to bring that out, except more so in a bolder way, in a more authentic way. Using a angled dome brush, I am going to go in and blend out that contour shade, and I'm going to extend it downward just to follow my natural jawline, because I have a very deep hollow jawline. So I'm just following that jawline and making sure that everything is going to be nice and blended out. Oop, let her get behind my ear. And make sure that hairline is kind of blended as well. Not going all the way into my hairline, but just to where the edges of that contour color is well blended. And doing the same thing on the other side, using a very light hand as well. As you can see, when I started cutting that contour color, you can see in my jawline that it's a very deep jawline. Doing the same thing. Yes, I know it looks really bold right now, but I'm not done blending. Also, and this is when I'm done blending out that contour color. As you can see, it is well blended. Also going in with my stipple angled concealer brush as well. And I'm just blending out my nose contour as well. Making sure that everything is nice and well blended. I'm going in with my translucent powder. I am using the Airspun, and I'm going in on my contour nose and just applying that. Ooh, look at that blend. It just gives hollow, it gives tint, it gives shadow, and that's exactly what I was looking for. So I think I accomplished it very, very well in my own unique way. And then I'm just dragging it down just so we can blend and you don't see like a very washed, like ashy washed residue on the blending area. Going in with my Formula Physicians blush, I am going to be applying this blush on with the same stipple brush that I use on the end areas of my cheekbones and applying that upward. The thing about it is when I'm using my blush, I'm gonna smile. just so I can get the apples of those cheekbones, because I really love the apples of my cheekbones, especially when I smile. And then I'm just using a regular angled brush and just blending that out, especially towards the edges at the top of my cheekbones. Then I'm going in with my butter bronze, and I'm just going to apply that on top of the edges of that bronzer just to blend out any harsh lines and making sure everything is nice and blended, because it's layers to the shit, literally. I'm going in with my Revlon blurring powder to do me extra justice and blending out any type of harsh lines or any type of lines that I missed, using my bronzer, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply that to the areas where I feel is needed. And I'm just taking my blending brush and just blending out those areas and where I baked that powder a little bit and blending it outwards. Using my jumbo pencil and my e.l.f., I'm going to be using this underneath my eyes. And I already did my white off camera, and I'm going to go ahead with the black and apply that under my eye as well. Now, doing this gives your eye a very seductive look to it. So it makes your eye bigger, but it also makes it smaller, which gives it a more of an illusion of like a siren eye or a cat eye. Now I'm going to go in with my Fenty Beauty in the shade Trophy Wife, and I am going to be applying this highlight on my cheekbones. And then blending that out just a little bit, because I only want a little bit of highlight, not too much, not too overbearing, just something just to give me a little bit of glow. And yes, I do like to kind of bring it on my cheekbones a little bit, on my apples of my cheeks, just because when I'm looking straight or I turn slightly or anything from all angles, you can be able to see that glowy look in my from my highlight. And with my mini black palette, I am going to be using this dark brown shade, and I am going to be applying that to my lips. It's nothing like a dark lip liner with a nude or a pink accent to that ombre effect of a lip. It's nothing like it. And no other lip combo I can do that doesn't involve it. Now going in with my Milani Make It Last setting spray, I am going to be applying that all over my face as a base, and then I'm going to go in with my NYX Professional Bear With Me setting spray, and I am going to be applying that all over my face as well. And then going in with my, just a little bit more, Then I'm going in with my NYX Professional Butter Gloss, and I'm going to be applying that on my lip as well, creating this beautiful ombre effect as you see now. Now that we're just about done with this look, I want to thank you for being here and watching, and till next time.
I was raised as a youth, to the truth I got the scoop on how to get it bulletproof. Sex busting off the